Yo, what's going on? Mike from Mike Talk Sports. So Pelicans head coach Willie Green just said to the media that he would like his star player Brandon Ingram to start shooting more threes. Let me tell you guys why I completely agree with this. Coming into the NBA, Brandon Ingram was really always compared to Kevin Durant, and something they really share in common is the fact that they don't shoot that many three-point attempts. You look at their really good games, then you look at the box score afterwards, and it always surprises me seeing that they shoot a very high percentage from three, yet don't take a lot. So Brandon Ingram, really going back to his Lakers days, didn't shoot a lot of threes and wasn't even that good at shooting the three, but once he got to the Pelicans, his percentage drastically increased, and he went from a below average three-point shooter to a well above average three-point shooter. So looking at his career splits, he shoots 36.3% from three on about 4 attempts per game, which is about league average. But again, he's been a good three-point shooter with the Pelicans. This year, he's shooting 39% on 4 attempts per game, which is well above league average. So in 2019, this is really the main selling point you say to Brandon Ingram if you really want him to shoot more threes. Hey, Brandon Ingram, you're a one-time All-Star in 2019. And in 2019, you shot your highest career attempts in three-pointers, not only for the entire season, but per game as well, with 6.2 attempts per game. And you shot 39.1% from three in that season, which is also your highest point per game season at 23.8 points. So this year specifically, he's shooting his worst percentage from two since he's been a Pelican. So in the last 4 years, this is actually the year that he's shooting his lowest 2-point percentage, which in my opinion is a reason why Willie Green, the coach of the Pelicans, is kind of trying to exert some public pressure on Brandon Ingram, some media pressure to start shooting more threes, because I think he looks at the statistics. Obviously, he's watching every single game. He's the head coach, and saying, Brandon Ingram isn't shooting as well from two. He isn't getting his mid-range up as well. He isn't getting to the line as well. He's just overall not getting to the basket as well. Let's start shooting more threes. You're not doing that good from two-point land compared to the rest of the years, because he's been shooting over 50% from two in every single year with the Pelicans except this year. So this year, not only is he shooting his worst percentage from two, but he's shooting really good from three this year. So it only makes sense to start shooting more threes if you're Brandon Ingram. So a little tidbit, a little statistic that I think most NBA fans know, but I'm going to include it in this video. If you shoot 33% from three, which is well below league average is about 35 to 36%. So again, shooting 33% from three is equal to shooting 50% from two, which if you're shooting 50% from two, you're elite mid-range shooter. You're elite from the 2-point arc and below. So to me, shooting 33%, that's something Brandon Ingram could do in his sleep. The reason why some coaches throw away that statistic and say it's stupid is because a lot of shooters that shoot 33, 34, 35% are the type of shooters that are going to go 4 for 4, 3 for 3, 2 for 2 in one game, and then the next game they shoot 0 for 5, 0 for 4, 0 for 3 from the three-point arc. So it's a consistency issue. You can't get a donut from a player in one night and get 20 points off the bench from him another. You need more consistency. But for guys who are really good shooters, guys who can be reliable from three, there's really no point for Brandon Ingram to be shooting as many two-pointers, specifically the deep mid-range, as he is, when you can really just step up outside of the arc and get those three-point attempts up. That's what Brandon Ingram really should do. Now, I'm not really suggesting that Brandon Ingram should go from shooting 4 attempts per game to shooting 10 attempts per game. I think that's going to significantly throw his game off from a mental perspective. But if he just slowly but surely increases it from 4 attempts per game to 5 attempts to, at some point in his career, get him to about 7 attempts per game, I think that's a very healthy mark in my opinion. He could be a 7 attempt per game guy, 38% from the three guy. That'd do absolute wonders, not only for Brandon Ingram's points per game, not only for his efficiency per 100 possessions, but that would do wonders for the Pelicans' spacing. It is so important for your star player in the NBA nowadays to be able to shoot the ball and get spacing for the role players. And in my opinion, Brandon Ingram is kind of capping the potential of his team by not shooting as many three-pointers as he's shooting. And the Pelicans are an organization that really understand the difference between shooting threes and living and dying by the three ball. You look at those Houston Rockets teams with Mike D'Antoni, for example, in 2018 and 2017. Those teams produced some of the best offenses of all time, but also produced some of the worst shooting performances we've ever seen in the playoffs, specifically the Western Conference Finals, going up against the Warriors, where they had that abysmal shooting night. They were really living and dying by the three, which is why, again, it's not good to take the 33% to 50% two example, because, again, 33% from three in total is usually very inconsistent. So if you can get consistent three-point shooters on higher volume, that's exactly what you want to do, and that's exactly what Brandon Ingram has the potential to do.